Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm George Grace Jr. Welcome to Sunday evening, the Peoria Municipal Band. Zoology, that is our theme for tonight. So we got some tunes that pertain to the animal world, animal kingdom. Plus we got a big variety of tunes I'm sure you will enjoy. Miss Molly Krueger has been our soloist this week. She's done a fine job. She returns, so please welcome Molly Krueger and Dr. David Vroman.
Please stand if you are able and join me in the singing of the national anthem as Post 2 presents the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Well, thanks for joining us this evening, and a little overcast would help, right? And if that breeze keeps going, but we're glad you could join us this evening. And we're going to start with a piece that's called American Fanfare, and it's written by a gentleman that is, to some degree, a good friend of the band, John Wasson. And John's relationship to the band was the fact that his father-in-law, Owen West, for many years played trumpet in this group. And Owen's own family was very talented, and Eureka natives, and John is somebody that has written for a whole host of different groups all around the country. Chicago Symphony Orchestra, the Air Force Band, Air Force Airmen of Note. He's written for the Gatlin Brothers, the Dallas Brass, which is this piece here, one that was written for the Dallas Brass. And John was a really fine, or is a very fine low brass performer, and he traveled and toured with the Stan Kenton Band, the Woody Herman Orchestras, things like that. So he's very diverse in terms of all the music that he really, really enjoys. And this is a very energetic, short little fanfare opening for tonight. John Wasson's American Fanfare. We're going to stick with our American theme for the next couple numbers here. Frank Ticheli is an American composer, a contemporary, still writing today. Joined the university faculty in Southern California, the Thornton School of Music, back in about 1991, and was professor of composition there. He was also the composer in residence for the Pacific Symphony. Now, if you think about that, many of those composers, that's what their dream would be to write for symphony orchestra, and many do that very successfully, and he did that as well, but then he kind of discovered the concert band, and he decided that he liked all the different colors that a modern symphonic band could provide. So here's what he says about this next work, which is based on a theme that you've probably heard before, Shenandoah. He said, "In my setting of Shenandoah, I was inspired by the freedom and beauty of the folk melody and by natural images evoked by words, especially the image of a river. I was less concerned with the sound of a rolling river than with its life-affirming energy, its timelessness. Sometimes the accompaniment flows quietly under the melody, other time it breathes alongside it. The work's mood ranges from quiet reflection through growing optimism to profound exaltation." This is Frank Ticheli's Shenandoah. There it comes. Thank you, Todd. It was on, right? I was not just mouthing the words, just so that you know. Though that gives me an idea for a future concert. Hadn't thought about that. How many of you were able to be with us on Wednesday night downtown? Wednesday night. Well, Wednesday night, if you'll remember, you had a little chance to sing and to sing with Municipal Band. Now, I got to tell you that the reviews, we didn't even publish them in the paper the next day, okay? And so we're going to give you another opportunity, but with a different song, okay? So now you're going to have to sing and whistle a little bit. So this is crowd participation. This is what must happen. Edwin Franco Goldman, he was the founder of the famed Goldman Band out in New York City. And there was really a trio of three back in the day, three people that really influenced the growth of bands even before they were in public schools. The first was Patrick Sarsfield Gilmore. After that was some guy named John Philip Sousa. And then Goldman kind of kept things going all the way to the 50s, and even his son picked up and conducted the Goldman Band on into the 70s. He was born in Louisville, Kentucky, and he had a kind of a different kind of bringing up because his father died very young, and so he ended up being put into an orphanage. And at this orphan asylum there in New York City, they offered some lessons, and so he started to take cornet and was super successful as a player and really devoted himself to that, and played first chair in the conservatory orchestra when he was older. Some guy named Dvorak was conducting that group, and ended up playing and really was a very famous cornet player, but got involved in being a band leader as well. So this is his On the Mall March. So the words are quite difficult, but I think you can get it. So repeat after me, la. Very nice. Those are the words, and then you'll have to whistle as well. be anxious to read the reviews in the paper tomorrow morning about your performance. But now you can say you soloed with the Municipal Band. Tell all your friends. Well, as many of you know, we have soloists each week with the Municipal Band, and this week, Molly Krueger, we've kind of worn her out. So we rehearse one night a week just on Monday nights, and then we had a concert Wednesday, and we were at St. Philomena on Friday, and here we are tonight. And she's done a great job of singing with the band on all these concerts. Molly Krueger, she's a singer, a songwriter, she's a producer, and a yoga teacher. How many of you do yoga? Okay, good. And she just graduated from Millikan University with a Bachelor of Music degree and in both commercial music and in music business. She's going to stay there for another year or so and work on an MBA in project management. She also has her own psychedelic rock band called The Hangovers, and later on this year they'll be performing here in Peoria. She performed this with fellow Millikan University students. There at Millikan they have a nice recording studio, and she served as their studio manager right there on campus, engineered and produced multiple projects. She was the president, in fact, of the student-run record label First Steps Records, and has worked as a team leader on the Midwest Music Expo Conference. So she likes singing, she likes health, she likes rock and roll, and she is a certified yoga teacher, not just a yoga teacher, but a certified yoga teacher. And if you want to know her favorite quote, comes from David Bowie. I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. Please welcome Molly Krueger. Molly?
So I grew up listening to classic rock, and some of my greatest musical influences come from classic rock. And one of the best vocalists and frontmen of all time, in my opinion, is Freddie Mercury. So here's a rendition of Queen's Greatest Hits.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the sky and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, because I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anywhere the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, and now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, if nothing really matters. Steve walks slowly down the street with his brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway the bullets rip at the sound of the beat. Yeah! Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever. This thing called love, I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get a hold of it. I kinda like it. Crazy little thing called love. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing we will rock you. We will rock you. Buddy, you're a young man, hard man, shouting in the street, gonna take on the world someday. You got blood on your face, big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place, singing we will rock you. We will rock you. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions. We are the champions, my friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world, of the world, of the world.
Thank you, Molly. She'll be back. She's got one other selection for us this evening. Enrico Nicola Mancini. Everybody's heard of him? Henry. We called him Henry. Okay. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, but brought up in Pennsylvania, played flute in a local band as a youth, and started sending some arrangements to Benny Goodman. Just, hey, listen to this. Goodman offered him a job, and then serving in World War II, he joined and rearranged a lot of the Glenn Miller Band book as well. And even in 1952, back in the day, that was back in the day, he was given a 2-week assignment at Universal, worked on a Bud Abbott and Lou Costello film. He was just supposed to be there for a couple weeks. He ended up staying 6 years. Very talented. Had a lot of success with the Glenn Miller Story, the film that came out, and then started helping with other films. I remember years ago, I heard him with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra up at the Milwaukee Zoo, and he was very gracious in concert, but also extremely talented. Nominated for 18 Oscars, won 4. He won 20 Grammys, 2 Emmys, made over 50 albums, and had over 500 works published. So to get to kind of our zoology theme tonight, you're saying, well, we haven't played anything about animals, so this will help you a little bit, except the band played like animals, right? Sorry. So here's a medley of Senator Henry Mancini's better works, including Moon River, which came from a film, Breakfast at Tiffany's, about 1961 or so, and then The Baby Elephant Walk and Hatari, which came from the Paramount picture film Hatari, that was in 1962. So enjoy this medley, very well written by a gentleman named Alfred Reed, but the music of Henry Mancini. We're going to change styles a little bit more for you this evening. And next up, we're going to feature some of our fine soloists in the Peoria Municipal Band Dixieland Band. And you can see how quickly they're making their way now to the front. So, Dixieland is really a true American art form and came mainly from ragtime and the blues, that sort of thing. Earliest musicians, both in New Orleans, but also up in the Chicago area. And names like Joe King Oliver, Jelly Roll Morton, Louis Armstrong, Sidney Beckett, King Ory, the names go on. If you're from Iowa and you pay any attention, the Bix Festival, Bix Beiderbecke. So what Bob Loudon did, the arranger of this piece you're about to hear, he went to some of the classics that everybody loves that comes from the Dixieland side of things. It includes Basin Street Blues, Maple Leaf Rag, Tin Roof Blues, Bill Bailey, and When the Saints Go Marching In. So our Dixieland band consists of, hiding behind me here is Jill, and wave Jill. And then there's Jesse on trumpet. Jesse's playing trumpet. George is on tenor sax tonight. Carl, he's on trombone. And Frank's playing the tuba, and in the back, sitting down, you can't see him, Michael's on drum set tonight. So give them a nice round of applause. This is their Dixieland Jam. about another round of applause for those folks, would you please? This next march we have is by one of those three people I mentioned earlier, John Philip Sousa. And this is a piece that he wrote in 1890 for the high school cadets. And the other night we played National Fencibles March. And National Fencibles March went with these drill teams back in the day. They didn't have instruments or anything, but they were just marching expositions. And they were always looking for great music to be able to march to. And National Fencibles March became very famous and was associated with the National Fencibles drill team in Washington, D.C. And so people came to Sousa and said, could you write something even better than that for us? He said, I'm not sure, but I'll try. So this was composed for a marching cadet corps in Washington, D.C. in 1890, and later on it was called Central High School out there, and it was dedicated to all the teachers and the pupils at that school. This is the High School Cadets by John Philip Sousa. By now you know our routine, but I'll remind you that Wednesday night we'll be down on Water Street right by WTVP, Kelleher's, and you're always invited down there, 7 o'clock. And of course, next Sunday we'll be right back here at 7 o'clock as well. Well, it's been our pleasure this week to work with Molly Krueger, and she's got one more selection for us, and she drove all the way from Decatur for this. So please give her a nice warm welcome, Molly Krueger.
This one is another rock song, but it's a little more recent. This is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. an army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette, and the message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone. Don't wanna hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it, from the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And if I catch you coming back my way, I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that is what I'll do. And the message coming from my phone says, find a home. I'm going to Wichita, far from this outfit for forevermore. I'm going to work the straw, make the sweat drip out of every pore. And I'm bleeding and I'm bleeding and I'm bleeding right before the Lord. All the words are gonna bleed from me and I will sing no more. And the stains coming from my blood tell me go back home.
Thanks, Molly. Now it's time for the
drawing, so I hope you all entered. Please give Lee Winger a nice welcome, would you please?
You'll recall that tonight's drawing is for gift certificates from Alexander Steakhouse, from Ron Helms, and Mercedes Restaurants. So I'd like to ask Jill Shea, my close personal friend, if she would do the drawing tonight. You bet. Just one. Tonight's winner is Jen Schwa. Jen Schwa. Please step over to the picnic table there and pick up your gift certificates. Thanks, everyone, for playing. We'll do it again Wednesday night.
Just a quick survey. You can only have a cat or a dog. That's all you can have. You can't have both. How many people will choose cat? Dog? Well, this is cats. Dogs. Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight, and hope you'll join us throughout the rest of the summer. And there's about 4 weeks or so left, and Wednesday, we'll be right down on Water Street. If you've not tried that venue, come on down. I want to echo what Lee said before. I want to thank the Park District for finding this little ramp area over here, so that what happens, you come in and kind of drop off there and then go park, but it allows people to get up and over that curb a little bit easier, and they've done a great job of being as helpful as they can with this change here in a different venue. Well, several people we want to thank tonight. First, we want to thank our vocal soloist, Molly Krueger, so give her a big round of applause. Also, please thank our sound man. We also want to thank Kristen Sheets for being our librarian, and Laurel Filzen Etzel, our assistant conductor. George Graves Jr. is our band manager. Liz Driscoll, she does publicity. Frank in the back, Frank Gutierrez, he takes care of all our tweeting and Facebook things and everything else. I don't know what all he does. Give them all a nice round of applause. Takes a lot of people. And finally, we want to thank all our band commission members, those that you saw out here in the powder blue shirts, and we're so appreciative of all the work that they do. As I often say, and I'll often remind you, they're a working group. They don't just meet and talk, but they're a working group, and they're the ones that make these gift certificates happen and things like that. So give our band commission members a big round of applause, would you?
Post 2 will help
us bring our concert to a conclusion as we give you a few moments to reflect on what a great country it is in which we live. This is America the Beautiful.